everybody, welcome to episode 55 of the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Northern Ontario, Canada. Today is Friday, April the 30th, 2021. I would first like to start off by welcoming any new viewers who are tuning in for the very first time. Welcome. And to any of my returning viewers, welcome back. This is a podcast mostly about my knitting adventures, and there is some crochet. Sorry, I am dealing with lighting issues. We have sun that is going in and out, so it is playing havoc right now. So I apologize for any lighting issues right now, but yes, Mother Nature is not working with me. So anyways, I would like to welcome any of my returning viewers back. Thank you for watching. So yeah, I totally got off track, guys. We're just gonna roll with it. So anyways, where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast. That's actually where I am most active. And you can also find me on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X. And yeah, you can find project pages. I'm not as detailed as I used to be, and honestly, I haven't been keeping it as up to date as I used to. But it's something that I'd like to get back to doing because it's a good record. It's good to look back on and see what you did and all that fun stuff. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, it's been well over a month since we last spoke, and there has been some big changes. We decided that we no longer wanted to live in an apartment. There was just disturbances going on, and there was some other incidents that had occurred that it didn't make it fun for me and my family anymore. And we had lived in the country before, if you watched, so it was quite the big adjustment to move in back to kind of city life. Oh my god, the sun is something. So yeah, it was quite the adjustment. So there was a house that got listed for a decent price in Northern Ontario, and yeah, we decided that we were going to take a leap of faith, and no regrets. It's actually very beautiful up here. I've never been up this way before, and yeah, I love it. So we're back into our own place again, and yeah, I cannot tell you how big of a difference it has made for my anxiety. And yeah, things are just so much more easier here because it is your own place. You can do modifications and make adjustments because, you know, power wheelchairs, yeah, I'm not the easiest on a house. I'm not the easiest on cupboards and door frames and all that stuff. And yeah, so it is much nicer to be in your own place. You're more at ease and all that stuff. So the other plus side is my cat Rami, my big orange fluff ball. She has anxiety issues, and being in the apartment, it was not good for her. Her anxiety was always up. She was always on alert. She was always at our door because she could hear people like going down the hallway and stuff. Every month they would test the fire alarm in our building, which is a very good thing, but it was bad for her because the loud noise, even though you shut it off in the apartment, it was still ongoing out in the hall. So it was not a good thing. We had 8 floors in the building, and the way that it was done, it would go off for, I'm gonna say 5 minutes, get shut off, and then they would redo that again 3 more times. So it was not fun for her. So she's doing a lot better now that she come here, and she's back to being her normal self. And one of the things that I missed is usually she would come up on the, if I'm working at the desk, she would come up on the desk and she would lay on the yarn, and she would, you know, just lay there and be with me. And she's starting to do that again a lot more. So I'm so happy to see her back to her normal self again. So yeah, that happened. And the great thing about it is, you can see I got a new setup here. I actually have my own craft room now. So that is pretty exciting. So I am super happy about that. It's still a work in progress. There's still a lot to be organized and all that stuff, but it's slowly coming together, and I am super excited to just have my own space now. This was perfect because this was a closet. So this was the second bedroom, and this was a closet area behind me, and it was an open concept closet, so it didn't have doors, and it had like this white shelf, and it was absolutely perfect to put my baskets. I got the moose baskets are just some that I picked up from Giant Tiger, which is a local Canadian store, and I got the other baskets, which are the same dimensions, off of Amazon. So they're really nice baskets. So anyways, I don't know if I want to keep them this way just yet, or if I want to organize them differently, but they're housing my yarn, they're keeping it clean, and I still got my other bookshelf with my other yarn. So yeah, it's slowly coming together, and I'm happy with it, and it gives a nice little area to podcast, because I have a window directly in front of me, which is playing bad with me today with the sun, but regardless. So yeah. Yeah, I guess you can't have everything, right? So anyways, all that being said, that happened, and let me see. We had a little, actually the last time I podcasted, that evening, we had to rush our little cat, Sassy, to the emergency vet. She wasn't feeling herself the night before or that day, and I just figured it was maybe something she ate. But it turns out she had went into her first heat a week prior, and she came out of it, and then that's when she started to feel like just not herself. Like she wasn't eating, she was barely drinking, and she wasn't playing, which that cat is always playing. Like she's always hyper and she's always playing, and automatically it was concerning, because it's like, okay, she's not doing these things. So she ended up throwing up that night, and she was there was like white pussy stuff coming out of her vaginal area. So automatically we took her in, and they did her blood work and all of that. She was running a fever, and they said that she had pemetra. I think that's how it's said. So it's an infection of the uterus, which it's rare to see in a young kitten, but especially after just coming out of her first heat. Usually it happens, you know, well into their third, fourth heat that they go into, if they haven't been fixed. So it was rare to see that happen, but it did. So luckily they managed to break her fever that night, and then the next day we got her into a clinic and got her spayed, and luckily it all turned out well. She was okay. So she did have to wear the cone of shame for 2 weeks and take some antibiotics, but she is back to herself again too, and I cannot tell you how happy I am about that, because I love that little fur ball. I love both of my fur balls. If you follow me on Instagram, I think you can kind of gather that. I think I take more cat pictures than I do of yarn, but that's okay. So anyways, that's been my life so far. So yeah, good things happening. So I guess I will share with you an acquisition first. We'll start off by that because I'm drinking it. But I got this beautiful mug, and I really wish I could remember the podcaster that I saw using one as well, but I don't. This is Bluebird Pottery Studio, or Bluebird Pottery Shop, sorry. You can find them on Etsy, and they are from Hamilton, Ontario, and they just make these beautiful handmade mugs, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love. This one's got the knit stitches and the cables, and if you know me, you know that I love my cables, so I automatically had to get it. So for me, I think this is a very reasonable price. It was $25 Canadian, and yeah, I just think that was very reasonable. It's very well made, and I would highly recommend them. They do have a couple left in their shop now. They do make yarn bowls as well, which are very beautiful. Right now, the only mugs they have a white one, which I am very tempted at, but I'm trying to be good. It kind of reminds you of like a white birch tree, like the bark on a birch tree. It's so beautiful. And they also have these yellow knit mugs. It has the knit stitches on it, and it's got 2 or 3 black heart buttons that go down the side. So beautiful and precious. I just love them. So I highly recommend you check it out. That is the Bluebird Shop, and I will link that below. So yeah, and today I am drinking tea. It is not a hot one, however it is a cold one. It's green passion fruit by David's Tea. So I've been trying to increase my water intake, and I know this is not a good substitute. However, I am drinking it sugar-free, so it's helping intake my liquids a little bit. And since I cannot drink anything that's carbonized, so pop, sparkling water, anything like that, it's hard to drink. I've tried the drops in the water. It doesn't really do it for me. So yeah, so I thought, well, you know, as the temperatures are getting warmer, I need something different to drink, and I don't want to drink juice because they are full of sugar as well. So yeah, anyways, love it. Okay, so how about we move on into first what I'm wearing. This is my newest acquisition. It is the Knitter sweatshirt. You guys have probably seen these before. I got mine from That Yarn Habit, and I just love it. It's super cozy and super warm, and yeah, I just love it. So there's that. And yeah, I guess I will move on into finished objects, because there is quite a bit to share with you guys this time. So I'm going to start off with the big one, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this already. But I saw that Amy Loudon of the Little Tailoress Studio, she had put out a test call for her latest cardigan, and I hope I'm gonna say it right. It's the Chartreuse cardigan, or Charis cardigan, and I automatically jumped on it, and I was like, can I test for you? And she said yes. So I was super excited, and luckily I already had stash here to use for it, so it was perfect. So I'll tell you a little bit about it first. The Chartreuse cardigan is it's worsted held with a strand of mohair or Aran weight yarn. So it's done on a 5mm needle, so it works up super quick, and it goes from an extra small all the way up to a 4X. So I chose to do the 4X size, And I could have definitely gone down smaller. I apologize for that noise, but the kitty litter is literally like right there, so I apologize. So yeah, I chose to do the 4X size. I had never knit Amy's patterns before, so I wasn't sure about the sizing, and I didn't want to knit a cardigan that was too small. Yeah. So anyways, I could definitely have gone down a size or maybe 2, but regardless, I chose to do the 4X size, and I cannot tell you how much I love this, you guys. So hopefully I will be able to show it okay, but here it is. And I absolutely adore it. So one of the things that I love, it is top down. So without giving away too much about the pattern, I don't think, you pick up you do your collar first, and then you do your shoulders. It is like a drop shoulder construction. And one of the things that I found really interesting about this pattern, your button band, it is knit at the same time as the cardigan, which is super amazing that you don't have to go back and pick up those stitches to knit the band. But something that I really love is Amy has you using a 3.75 millimeter needle to do the band, and having it using that smaller needle helps the button band to lay more flat. So I thought that was very interesting. So if you're wondering, like I am, like how do you knit the body on a 5 and then that, all you do is take a DPN needle, or if you don't like the DPN needle, you could use like I tried the 9-inch circular, was it a 9-inch? Yes, I think I tried the 9-inch circular and just left like the circular hanging, and then I didn't like that, so I went back to the DPN. But I just think it's genius, and it helps to keep that button band laying more flat. So yep, that was very interesting, and there was some new learning techniques of this sweater that I learned that I thought were very interesting and enjoyable. So yeah, it does feature like a balloon sleeve or a bell sleeve. I'm not sure how you would call it. So pretty much there is no decreases being done, and then you just do your set of decreases before the cuff and finish off. This is where I modified the pattern slightly. I made no modifications anywhere except for the sleeves. So for my size, I noticed that it was going to be very, very big. And I wanted to keep the bell sleeve look, but I didn't want all that excess fabric. Being in a chair, especially coming through doorways, I already catch. So I tend to take my sweater off before coming through like a narrower doorway. So yeah, I did not want to catch my sweater on anything and rip it. So I did do some decreases coming down, and just adjusted my stitch count just a little bit. So you can see that it was bigger here, and it slowly got a little bit more narrow. So that's the only modification that I've made to the pattern. The yarn that I used was Cascade 220, and I don't think it was the Heathers. I think it was just the plain black, and I also used one strand of Pro Lana Kid Silk Haze in a black color. So I did hold worsted with mohair, and it is so cozy and so fluffy. I just love it. So yes, it is awesome. It is like a V-neck style when you put it on, and there is 4 buttons that would go down the button band. I do have the buttons here. They are very beautiful. They're like a charcoal marble almost. They're so beautiful. I just have not sewed them on yet. So yeah, I'm a procrastinator, guys. You know that. So anyways, that is my Chartreuse cardigan, and I absolutely love it. I have been wearing it a ton, like a ton. I love it. Been eating mohair too. It does shed a lot, not as bad as the Knit Picks. I had done my love note with the Knit Picks mohair, and that shed, I found it shed quite a bit, and this one ain't as bad, but you still, like, I can feel fluffies on my face right now, so that's the downside. But I do enjoy using mohair because it does make it super, super soft and luxurious, so yeah, it's really nice. So for yardage, I met gauge with the 5mm, and for my size, so for the 4X size, I believe I went through 6.5 skeins of the Cascade 220, and I went through, I believe, 6 skeins of the 5 or 6 skeins of the mohair. I have to still check like how much I used of each and put that in my Ravelry page, but not bad at all. So yeah, I got a beautiful cardigan, and one of the things that I am most excited and proud about is that it was a test knit, so it was a priority, and I did work on like a sock or something in between sometimes, but I challenged myself, like, you got to do this, you got to stick to it, and I managed to finish the cardigan in under a month. And that has never happened to me before. You guys all know me. I get distracted by all the things. So yeah, so I'm super proud of myself that I managed to get a cardigan done in a month. So that was major. So yeah. So anyways, that's the Chartreuse cardigan by Amy Loudon of, or you can find her on Instagram as the Little Tailoress Studio, and she does have a podcast. I don't know if she's done one recently, but she's just so lovely, and I highly recommend that you check her out and that you follow her on Instagram, because she has other beautiful designs. She has the Whitmore cardigan, which so she does have the cardigan version now, but the original was the Whitmore pullover, and it's just got this beautiful delicate lace detail on the yoke, and I really want to do it. I actually got yarn for it now, but yeah, she's just got such beautiful designs, so I highly recommend that you go check her out. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to share with you is another finished object, and you guys have seen this in progress before, and it was my little deer mitts. So the little deer mitts, I forget what the designer's name was, but they were fingerless mittens, and they had this beautiful color work detail. It was like peaks, and then it had some deers, and it was just very beautiful. And I was being ambitious and thought that I was going to do it, but it didn't happen. I did do the one. I did the color work down here. I didn't repeat it up here because I wanted a closed-in mitten. I didn't want fingerless gloves, so I decided I didn't want the color work up here, and I started the second started the second mitten, and I just got to that color work chart, and I think I got halfway through it and I messed up, and it was at that point where I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do these things plain. So I ripped out the first mitten and I re-knit it, and I just knit them plain. I know, but I started these back in November, and I was like, okay, I just want these done because I really wanted the mittens. I really wanted a pair of mittens. So I finally got them done just in time for spring and the warm weather, of course, but I got them done. So, okay, the yarn that I used was Rose Hill Yarns, and I had got this set back in October, I believe, and I'm just getting the tag. It was her Warm Spice set. So there's her tag, and there is your details. So in the kit, you got this beautiful skein of yarn, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. It's a creamy base with these specks of mustardy yellow and brown, and there's some pink in there. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And you also got a 10 or 20 gram mini. I wonder if it's written on here. I can't remember. You got a 20 gram mini skein with it as well. And it was a mustard color. I don't have it in the bag with me right now, do I? Oh, yes, I do. Cool. So you got that, a 20 gram mini with that as well. So this is what I was using for the contrast for the color work, but I changed my mind. So I will just save this for a future project or put it into my blanket, or I don't know yet. But so I used the main color, and then I used some mohair, which is like all tangled at the moment, but just some basic bare mohair. And I believe this is the Drops Kid Silk. So yeah, that is what I used, and I still have enough of that yarn left to put into my my blanket or whatever. I don't know how much I have left. I honestly feared that I was going to run out of yarn because I was doing the full-on mittens, but I did not. I had lots, and yeah, they are just so nice. And I wanted the mohair in it because I wanted them to be nice and warm, and I just love them. So finally got them finished, and I got them on my Big Blue Mama blockers, mitten blockers, and I'll just pull that down. You can see they got like a little sheep detail, and I'm not gonna pull it off because it's kind of a hassle to put it back on. But the really cool thing is the thumbs. It's actually like a puzzle piece that you put in, and so if you just had done fingerless mitts without like the thumb gusset, I suppose that's why they did it. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Why would you not have a thumb gusset? I don't know what the deal was, but the thumbs are like a puzzle piece, so they do detach. They just don't really click in very well and stay. So that's kind of why I don't want to lift the mitten off. But regardless, they're beautiful blockers, and I love them. I got these from Grey Huron Yarn Shop in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. So I don't know if she still has them in stock, but that's where I got them from. So anyways, there are my fingerless mittens all finished, and I will just put them aside until next season when I will be able to use them. So I'm excited about that. So as for the pattern, I did cast on the size medium from the winter deer mitts, and from that I did the thumb gusset, and then I just continued on up until like the part where you would close off for the top. I just kind of used it as a recipe, like for the numbers. So I would say if you're looking for a good mitten pattern, and I probably should have just used it from the beginning, but I was referring to the World's Simplest Mitten by Tin Can Knits. And that is a wonderful pattern. I have used it before. It goes all the way from baby sizes to adult large. So it has all the sizes, and the greatest thing about it is that it has all the weights of yarn. So if you want to use fingering, sport, DK, worsted, it's all listed on your stitch counts, your needles, gauge, all that fun stuff. So I highly recommend that you check out that pattern. So I will link that below for the mittens, because I really didn't follow the winter deer mitts at all. So yeah. So anyways, that was my mittens, and hello sun. There we go. Okay, so I have another finished object to share with you. And this was another test knit that I decided to take on. And as soon as I started to follow Dana Ray Makes on Instagram. I'm sorry. I started following her, and oh my gosh, her pictures on Instagram are just so beautiful. Her sock designs that she has been coming out with are just incredibly beautiful, and they are so simplistic. That's what I love about them. So I saw that she put out a test call for her latest release, and I had to join, and I got one pair done. So Dana has the 3 More Ways socks, and I believe they are a DK weight, and there's 3 different textured socks in the pattern. And then she has her tea collection, which I really want her tea collection as well. And then she has this pattern, which is the 3 More Ways socks. So I brought my tablet here just so I could share with you, because there is 3 socks in the pattern, which I think is incredible for the price. So it is $4 USD, and you get 3 fingering weight sock patterns. So let me just pull this up for you. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Okay, so there they are. Aren't those just incredibly beautiful? I love them. So until May 2nd, and this video should be up either tonight or tomorrow morning, until May 2nd, you can get the 3 textured socks, 3 More Ways off, $1 off until May the 2nd. So I recommend that you go check that out and support her, because I think they are incredible patterns. And I have a cat climbing up on me. Hey, Rami. Here she is. Look at her. She's gonna drink my tea. That's what she's gonna do. Hey, Ram. Okay, so this is her thick 3-way more socks as well. So I'm on here, so I'll share that with you as well. Aren't those beautiful? And like I said, you get 3 patterns for $4 USD, which is probably 5 something Canadian, I believe. So that is like an incredible price. And let me just see here if I can pull up her tea collection as well. Rami's going to entertain you for a moment, I see. Yes, okay. So here is her her tea collection. Look at those blue ones. I love that pattern. It's just so beautiful. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it deserved the recognition. Dana has very beautiful patterns. So moving along, I did the test knit, and I chose to do the garden plots sock in the pattern. So here is my finished sock. Super, super simple to do, and it did not take long at all. It's just I think this one was a 4-row repeat, and it gives you that ribbed effect too, which makes it super beautiful on the foot to wear. I really love that. And yeah, I didn't do any modifications. I followed pattern. It does have the instructions to do your heel flap and gusset. So it's got a slip stitch heel, and it gives you the instruction for the rounded toe as well. She states this in the pattern. You can choose to do any heel that you wish to do. You do not have to follow the heel flap and gusset. If you wanted, you could just put your scrap yarn in and do an afterthought heel, or do a true afterthought heel and cut into it. Not brave enough to do that yet. And you could also do any toe you want as well. Like, you don't have to do what's in the pattern, but they are easily adjustable, and I highly recommend them because just look how beautiful, and I just love that. And the other patterns look just as beautiful. So I want to cast on another pair and do those as well. I'm going to rescue my tea here because I have a feeling somebody's going to knock it over. Okay. Let's see. Put it there. It'll be a little bit more safer. Okay, so the yarn that I used for that one, I'm just going to find the bag here. Oh, yeah, it's right here. The yarn that I used for this one is Polka Dot Creek. So I've been housing this sock and my latest sock projects in this bag, made by me. And if you saw on Instagram, I did a little teaser picture of what is to come. So I did get some tags in. So I'm trying to build up some stock and do an official launch of my project bags. But needless to say, that's what this sock has been living in. And it is Polka Dot Creek, the yarn. And this was one of her Christmas colorways. Sorry, Rami is being distracting right now. She loves all the yarn, especially real wool. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I believe this was one of Polka Dot Creek's Christmas colorways. It is Frosty Forest, so that's what the sock is. And then it came with two 20-gram minis, Frost and Forest, which I'm sorry I don't have here, but they were very beautiful. There goes. Wow. Okay. So there's the details. It is a 70-25 superwash merino nylon base. Absolutely beautiful. And I love all of Polka Dot Creek. She now has her own shop, and I am brick and mortar shop, and I am so jealous. I really, really want to go to Alberta so I can visit it. It looks so beautiful inside. But Shirley has some of the most beautiful colorways, and every month she has 1 or 2 colorways, because this month I saw 2 that got released, and they're just so beautiful. So they are sock sets, and they do come with 2 20-gram minis, and I believe the main color, you can buy that separately, and you can also buy the minis separately as well if you didn't want to buy like the whole sock set. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So so yeah, that's the yarn that I used, and I have yet to weigh the balls, so I don't know how much I used, but as you can see here, I still have a lot left over. So just look how beautiful that is. Oh, I love it. So Frosty Forest, Polka Dot Creek. Like I said, I don't know if she has any of that in her shop right now because that was a Christmas colorway, so I'm not sure about that. I knit these on a 2.25 millimeter, and I did it magic loop. I spoke about this last time on my podcast, but I've always been a DPN person. Every time I knit my socks, I love knitting them on DPNs. I just love the way that the needles feel in my hands. But recently I gave the magic loop method a go again, and my friend Shirley had given me a little tip that if you knit the second stitch, when you knit the second stitch, pull it a bit tight, and that will help stop the laddering from happening. And you do that every time you switch to the next needle. So I did that, and it did stop the laddering. The only issue I'm having a little bit is I do like the fabric of these socks. I went down to a 56 stitch count. Usually I was 64 stitches, but I went down to a 56 stitch count, and I do like the fabric, but I would like it just to be a little bit tighter. So I think what I would have to do is go down to a 2 millimeter magic loop to have the kind of fabric that I would like to achieve. But regardless, these are beautiful and I like it, and it's nice to learn a new method of knitting. I have been enjoying the magic loop a lot. I ordered a set of Chagu twist, I believe is what they're called. I was watching the girls from Forest City Knits. Hi girls. So I think it was I don't remember which one, but one of them was knitting a sock, and she said how she tried the twist. So the twist, you have a smaller needle, and then you have the larger needle, and it's on like a 9-inch cord, I believe. And she said having that longer needle was easier to get used to, because using the 9-inch circulars, I have tried to use them and my hands cramp up so bad. And she said it does take time to get used to it, but it is a lot easier and smoother to do. So I decided to give it a go, and I purchased a set a couple days ago from the Knitting Loft in Toronto. I ordered them online, and when they come in, I'm going to give them a go and see how it goes. So the only thing I wouldn't probably do on it is the heel flap and gusset. So probably have to put in an afterthought heel or something, but I'm just trying different methods and seeing what works, so it's all good. Okay, so I believe that's it for finished objects, at least that I can think of. It's been a while, but I honestly think that's all I have for finished objects. So yeah, we're going to now move along, and I'll just pull out my show notes quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so the socks, I'll just repeat that quickly, that I did the garden plots, and it's the textured socks 3 More Ways by Dana Ray Makes, and you can find her on Ravelry as Dana Ray Makes, and also on Instagram, and I highly recommend you follow her because she's awesome. And the textured socks 3 More Ways, you get $1 off until May the 2nd, and yeah, I highly recommend it, so go check her out. Okay, so I'll move now on into works in progress, and I've had I had a little bit of a spring cleaning of my projects. I bought like this giant basket, and I have it sitting in our living room. I have half, maybe a little bit more than half of my project bags in this basket, and it's a ginormous basket. And yeah, it's where I put all my project bags, so they're not just like sitting all over or sitting on the floor. And I was like overwhelmed a little bit by how many projects were in that basket. So I decided that I was going to go through them and do some spring cleaning. So there was some things that I just I just lost interest in, and decided, you know, maybe it's not for me, or the colors just aren't as practical as I thought they might be for myself. That's something I've discovered over the past year or so. I want to be more practical with my knitting. There's a lot of things that I think are beautiful, but would I actually wear it? And same with some of my color choices, like would I actually wear this? So I'm just trying to be more practical with my knitting. And I also I started watching the Penrose podcast. She's from England, and I started watching her, and she was talking about this, and she was like, our knitting is our hobby. It brings us relaxation, and it shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be obligation or anything like that. And I do agree with that. So yeah, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it, and I'm going to take it out. If I come back to that pattern in the future, that's great. I'll just take the yarn and put it aside until I find the proper thing for it. It's no big issue. There's no sense in keeping it stuffed in a bag for eons because you just lost interest in it or what have you. So don't guilt trip yourself if you are feeling that way about something. Just frog it. I know that's hard to do, especially if you put a lot of work into it, but yeah. So anyways, I did some spring cleaning of my projects, and I'm back down to a somewhat comfortable level now. But anyways, so I brought along with me today a couple of things that I have been working on recently, and one of those things is my Shirley Bryan socks, and they are the beautiful ones that that fade. So I believe I did share this with you last time. I'm not sure. I definitely shared the yarn. So it is the Deconstructed Fade Sock. And there is the name, because I'm not going to butcher it. So it is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, and it is 230 yards times 2. So it's 50 grams times 2. So I will show you the skein first. So you get 2 of these. You get 2 of these, and this makes 1 sock. So they're meant to be like a very long slouch socks, and oh, they're so pretty. I love them. And Shirley Bryan has like some of the most beautiful colorways, and I love her naming for some of them too, because they're so cool and unique. I just love it. So 1 skein is intended to knit you 1 sock. So I had skeined up the first one, and I like to pull from the center of my cakes. So the way that it wound up was perfect, because the top of my sock was the blue, and that's the way that I wanted it. So I have been keeping these. I've been keeping these on my in my bedroom. That way, when I go to bed at night, I have like maybe 20 minutes, 10-20 minutes of knitting before I go to bed. And in the morning, when I wake up, I can't get up right away. I need that 10-20 minutes just to sit there, because if I move too fast, then my bearings aren't quite with me just yet. So I don't want to transfer like that. So anyways, I decided that why not have a sock? It's just simple vanilla, and I could get a lot of work done on it. And guess what? I have been. So here it is. This is how the fade goes. So I started with the dark, and now you can see that I am moving on into that beautiful mustardy color. And I just love this section right here. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, I love it. So what I did, I'm not following a pattern. I casted on 72 stitches for the top cuff because I have, you know, wide calves. And I just worked down a certain amount. I should have put stitch markers in, but I did not. But I worked down a certain ways, and then I decreased down to 64, and then I decreased down to 56. So yeah, I'm not following no pattern. I just gradually decreased down to accommodate for my leg. So yeah, I am knitting these actually on a 2mm needle, and I am knitting them on magic loop. So yeah, the fabric is much better. The only difference is the Polka Dot Creek yarn is a little bit more plumper. This is just slightly more thin, but it's still nice. I did test fit it and I love it, so I am excited. So I made a decision on these as I started to knit them. If I was to knit these socks again, not the second sock, but I do have another fade here, I would probably try toe up. I am a cuff down person. I do not really enjoy the process of a toe up, but I would probably do that just to use up as much of the yarn as I possibly could. So there's that. So what I decided when I got into the fade here, I started to do my heel flap in Gusset because that's what fits my foot the best. I end up ripping it out because I was watching the Forest City Knit Girls, and Carrie is, she actually just finished, she did a pair of Shirley Bryan ones, and now she's, I don't remember if she finished them, but she's doing Ginger Snaps Pixel yarn, which is pretty much the same idea as this. And she did them as tube socks. And she said that it wasn't falling off of her foot, which I would have the idea that that would just fall off my foot. So anyways, I decided that I'm going to do a tube sock and we'll just see how that goes. That way I can knit down till I have, you know, maybe 10 grams of yarn left, I don't know, and do my toe, because I'd like some yarn left over to put in my blanket, of course. But yeah, so I'm going to try that out and see how it goes. I don't walk on my feet, so yeah, it's okay. I can joke about that. Me and my family and my best friend, we always joke about that. I always say that I have people that are jealous of me because I can buy a pair of shoes and they like last forever because I don't walk on them. And I know some people would get offended by that. I do not. You got to find the light in things like this. I have now been in a wheelchair for 25 years. I had surgery at 10, back surgery at 10 years old for scoliosis that left me paralyzed from the waist down. So actually coming up May 10th, 11th is the mark of my surgery. So I'll be in a wheelchair for 25 years now. So I've not always had this frame of mind. I was depressed for a very long time, but I've been trying to keep like the most positive attitude that I can, because the thing of it is, there is a lot of people out there that are in a lot worse condition than me. And I think that's where we need to think about that, because there's still times where I'm like, oh gosh, like I really wish I could do this. But you got to also find the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. So I can make light about these things because there's no sense in being dark about it. If you're dark and you keep your self-pity, shall we say, you're not going to get anywhere. If you always dwell on what you can't do, then you're going to put yourself in such a dark place that you're not going to enjoy life. There's many things that you can do. Maybe not the way you want to do them, but there are many things that you can do. I, in the last 5 years, have done many things that I would never think possible. So barriers, there is no barriers. Just do the best you can with life and think positive. That's my thing for today. Think positive. Doesn't matter your situation. Doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or what your problem is. Just try to keep that positivity there and your life will change by far. I know from experience. So yeah. Sorry about that tangent, but I just wanted to say that. Because I know a few people that are suffering, and sometimes they choose to dwell on the bad stuff, and you can't do that. So yeah. Okay, moving on. So I've been working on those socks, and let's see. I also have casted on another shawl. I was doing, I have 2 shawls on the go right now. One of them is the mystery knit along from this past year for Cozy Up Knits. And I did put some work on that yesterday. I didn't bring it along with me to show today, but I will next time for sure. So I am now on to Clue 4, and I'm about to do the border. So it's almost done. My Best Friend, Girl's Best Friend by Isabel Kramer. I got through section 1 of it, and it's just, I just haven't touched it. It's been sitting in hibernation. Not that I haven't been enjoying it. I have been. It just, with the Charters cardigan and all that, it just kind of took a back burner, and yeah, I don't know when it will come out of hibernation, but it's in hibernation for now. So anyways, because new shiny things occur to me all the time, I ended up getting a Mother's Day gift. I'm not a mama, but I'm a cat mama, and somebody in my life thought I was deserving of this beautiful gift. I saw this get posted to Instagram, and it was Rose Hill Yarns, and she did a Mother's Day gift set. So with the set, you got a skein of yarn, and I'm just going to reach over here. You got a beautiful skein of yarn, and then you got a mug, and you got 2 little mini skeins. Now the only thing is, I did not bring the card for the mug. I follow her on Instagram. I believe her name is Shirley. Link will be down in the description box, but it is another handcrafted mug, and it is just so stinking cute. It is beautiful. I love it. So I apologize. I cannot remember, I can't remember her shop name, but you can find her on Etsy, and you can follow her on Instagram. She has a lot of beautiful pottery and stuff. So you got the mug, and I'm just going to set it back aside because I do not want to break it. But you got the mug, you got the yarn, and sorry guys, you got the yarn, and then you got the 2 little mini skeins with it. So here is the tag, Rose Hill Yarns, and it's Mother's Day Sunshine. That's what the gift set was called. And there was a light and a dark. So the difference, I think the yarn was the same. It was just the mug. So I got the light one. So I got the more brighter yellow mug, but they also had like a more gold, like a goldy color mug to go along with the set. So you could get the light or the dark. I got the light one. So the yarn is a full skein, 463 yards, 100 grams. So that's that one. And then you got the 2 20-gram mini skeins, which are 92 yards each. And they are 75/25 superwash merino. And they are absolutely stunning. So here's the yellow. So beautiful. And I'm not sure, do you see those little specks? There's like little specks of color in there. And there's some deeper golds. It is just so beautiful, guys. So beautiful. So there was that. And then you got the 2 mini skeins. So you got like a dark mustardy color, and then you got the gray. So beautiful. I just absolutely love the set, and I am overjoyed and happy that it was gifted to me. So thank you. So I got that. I'll just put these over here. So once I got it, I was like, I really want to do something with the yellow, and I want to do it now because it's like springtime, and we've been having like a very mild winter here in Ontario. And I wasn't sure what it was going to be like up here in the north. We are up in Timmins, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but apparently they've been having a very mild winter up here too. So I'm going to say, since we moved here, there was definitely snow when we moved here. But for the last month, we've been having like 10 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, and it's been sunny, and we have had some rainy days in there, but there's been like a lot of beautiful sunshine. So Bobby's been sitting outside and worshiping the sun like she always does. I just love it. So everything is calling spring right now. The trees are budding, the grass is turning that beautiful green, and oh, it's just awesome. So I was inspired for a spring knit, and I decided that I wanted to use this yellow. So then I went hunting for a pattern, and I chose the Choose Love Shawl by Patty of the Forest City Knit Girls. And I will pull the pattern up because I have it here. It'll take a minute for me to get, but Patty released this pattern I'm gonna say last summer, maybe, if I remember correctly. And I fell in love with it right away, but I didn't have the colors. It is a DK weight shawl, and I didn't have the colors that I wanted for it. So I finally, I saw this one, and I went into my stash and I put together some colors for it, and I think it's going to be awesome now. So here's Patty's shawl. Just how beautiful is that? It's a beautiful triangle shawl, and it looks like it's got some beautiful eyelets in there. I just love the fading, and I love the tassels. Yes, it's going to have tassels. So I was so happy when I was able to pair this yarn up and finally cast the shawl on. So here's what I have so far. So I'm in section 1 now, and I just did the second set of eyelets, and I have a little bit more of like a solid section to do, and then I can move on into fading in the second color. So if you are wondering, this is a fingering weight yarn. I'm just holding it double. So that equals out to a DK weight. So I am holding this double, and you can definitely see the speckles now that it's being knit up. And I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but there's also like little flecks of green in there. Do you see that? It's very light and subtle, but they're there. It's beautiful. So there we go. And I wanted to share this with you. I was watching Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady podcast, and I saw that she did a giveaway for these beautiful stitch markers, and I realized that Tracy of Grizzly Knits is here in Ontario. She's from Toronto, so I love supporting local people, and I just loved her stitch markers, so I automatically had to go on and order myself some. And whoops, sorry about that. Aren't they just gorgeous? They're so beautiful. So I got some of those. You get three like stitch markers in a set, and I also bought a beautiful progress keeper in the gemstones as well. It's her sunset one, so they're a beautiful orange color. I don't have that one with me, but absolutely beautiful. And something that I really loved is her little bag that she puts them in. It's just so beautiful. So I'm just going to take a minute here, and I'm going to pull out her card. That way you can see her details. So there's her card and her details. Highly recommend you check her out. She's got so many beautiful stitch markers and progress keepers. You can actually buy the stitch markers and a progress keeper as a set, or you can buy them separately as well. And she come out with a new, actually a couple new collections, so I recommend you check it out. There's her beautiful card that the stitch markers come on. Her packaging is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So that is Tracy of Grizzly Knits. You can find her on Instagram, and much to my viewing pleasure, she has a podcast as well. So I totally binge watched her podcast. I didn't start from the beginning. I'm weird. Instead of starting from the beginning, I go backward. So I watched her most recent one, and then I started going backward. Yeah, I know I'm weird, but whatever. I'm enjoying her podcast. So if you're watching, hi Tracy. I just love your podcast. You're awesome. And I would so love to meet up for tea one day. That would be the most awesome thing ever. But yeah, fangirl moment. I know. But anyways, I just really love her stitch markers, and I'm glad to have found another podcast. So yeah. So anyways, there's my Choose Love shawl, and I guess I should show you what colors that I'm going to go into. So I have chosen, I went through my stash and I was trying to put some stuff together, and sometimes I'm not the greatest with putting colors together, but I think this is going to work. And knowing me, I did not put the tag for it in here. No, I did not. So I don't know which one this is, but this is a DK weight, and it's just got like a cream base, and it's got those speckles of gold in there, and it's got specks of green. There's a little bit of pink. It's just very, very beautiful. I love it. So next time I podcast, hopefully I will be more informational and actually have a tag for you, but I know that I got it from Yarnit in Coburg, and I'm not even gonna try to figure out what it is, but anyways, I got that one, so that will be my color number 2. And then color number 3, I don't have the ball band, but I know what it is. It is Polka Dot Creek. No, Midnight Craving. Midnight Craving. And it's actually a sport weight, but I think it will work just fine. And it's in their Harvest colorway. So it will go into that. So I think that will be absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it'll be awesome to wear with a white shirt, a jean jacket. I think it'll be awesome. So I have been working on this a little bit, and I want to get it done so I can wear it like right away. So that might be awesome. So there's that one. So that's the Choose Love shawl by Patty of the Forest City Knit Girls. And if you do not know who the Forest City Knit Girls are, they are 3 ladies from I guess it would be London, Ontario, and they just have the most wonderful podcast, so I recommend that you check them out. Patty and June have been coming out with some pattern designs of late, so go check them out and send them some love and support because they're just awesome patterns. So keep up the awesome work. Okay, so next thing I'm going to share with you, this one has also taken a back burner, but I did put some work on it. So, okay, I am working on my Comfort Fade cardigan, and I know that Jody and Tracy of the Gershi Girls podcast is doing a knit along right now with Andrea Mowry for the Comfort Fade, and I don't even know when the deadline for it is. I probably won't have mine done. That's okay. But here it is. Mine really isn't a fade. I just put together some colors that I liked. So I've gotten a fair bit of progress done on it. I know the last time we spoke, I was into the second color and now I'm into the third. So yeah, and I believe I only have maybe 2 inches left to go, and then I can go into my fourth color. So that will be exciting. There it is so far. So for this one here, my inspiration came from a picture that Shirley found on Instagram, and I really wanted those same colors, but I couldn't find a pink that I liked. So it started off with like a nice light pink, and then it went down into I think it was like a speckle, then it went to light gray, and then into a charcoal, and it was just absolutely stunning and beautiful. I just fell in love with that, so I wanted to create the same look, but like I said, I couldn't find a pink that I liked because I wanted to use Barocco vintage. That's what this is, and there just wasn't a pink that I was liking. So at least not at my local yarn stores. So I decided, I found this beautiful color here, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that as my first color and then just work off of it. So my third color got changed up. I wanted to use a gray color. It was a light gray. It was called Overcast. They come in color numbers, but I found the name, and it's Barocco vintage, and I had bought one ball of it. Why I bought one ball knowing that I needed, I think I need 3 for this color, number 3, but I don't know what possessed me just to buy the one, but what have you. I went to go back for it and it was out of stock. It is back in stock now, but after talking with Kathy, I decided that I'm going to keep this color. I started fading it in, and you can definitely see the color change here, but sometimes when you're working with it in the light, like as I'm looking at it right now, I don't really see it as much. It's more subtle, but the camera is definitely saturating it a lot more, so it doesn't matter. I like it. I'm staying with it. There's no way I'm ripping that back out. So I'm just gonna finish with this, and then I'm gonna go into my charcoal, and that will be my colors. So that's what I'm doing. And if I still have all the tags here, I can actually tell you what the colorway names are. I had them all in my head, but it's been a while. This project's been in hibernation for a bit, so okay. I talked about it on the last episode, so if you're really interested in what they are, you could probably find them there. But color number 3, which would be this one here, is gingham. And I know that color number 2 is calico, and I don't think I have the tag in here, which is sad. Regardless, they all have color numbers, and if you go on to the Barocco's website, you can actually can actually find the names. Okay, so color number 1 is Neptune. So that's Neptune, the very top one. And my color number 2 is Calico, and number 3 is Gingham, and then my 4th color is just Charcoal, which is just a beautiful charcoal gray, and it is not that light because my light is all messed up right now. It's a little bit more darker. That's true to color now. So anyways, it's not a fade, but I just liked it, and I think I will get a lot of wear out of it. So that's my comfort fade. I'm excited to start adding in the 4th color and get that going, and then I can move on into that beautiful shawl color. That's one thing I love most about the sweater. I was watching the Grocery Girls latest podcast, and Tracy had finished her comfort fade, and something I did not notice until she mentioned it, but she chose to pick up her stitches at the same rate that Andrea says for the pattern, but she just chose to do a standard ribbed button band. She didn't do the shawl color. It looks just as nice. So if you either don't like that big shawl collar or you just don't want the process of it, you definitely have the option of just doing a regular button band, which I totally didn't think of that. I want the shawl collar because I like that, but options, right? Another thing that she did, because the sweater is meant to be worn on, like, with the wrong side showing, something that Tracy's friend did and recommended, and Tracy did it too, along the center seam of the sleeves, she chose to do like a mock seam, so it's like a slip stitch. You'd have to watch the podcast to hear what she said. I will have to watch it again if I choose to do this, but it really helped with the color changes, because usually when you knit the sleeve, you don't really want to purl. You want to knit it with the right side, the knit side showing, not the purl. So when you go to add your yarns in, it could cause some issues. So that, I thought that was really cool, and that was a really good tip. So I recommend checking out the Grocery Girls latest podcast and hearing her explain it a lot better than I just did. So yeah. Anyways, that's my comfort fade by Interior Maori, and I already have a yarn lined up for a second one. Yeah. So I want to see how this one fits first before I cast on another one, to see if I want to do the same size or what have you. So yeah, I just love it. It's so nice. Anyways, moving along, I had to cast on another sweater, and this one here is one that I had casted on, I'm thinking around this time last year. The Cozy Up Knit Girls had come out with the Simple Hug, and if you follow them, you know this cardigan. It's the most luxurious cardigan ever. So is my chart wrist, but I'm being biased. It's just a beautiful cardigan, and it can be worn with the right side showing or the purl side, and it does do like a striping sequence. So it's DK held with mohair, and you can either pick like Pacific colors or make it scrappy. The great thing, it's bottom up, and then the way that it's knit, I don't remember, do you pick? Yes, you do have to pick up the button band after, but your sleeves, you pretty much, I think you only knit like maybe 3 inches, because it's a short sleeve. Don't remember the specifics exactly, but I was one of the test knitters for it, and I absolutely loved it. I lost that cardigan in our house fire, so I only got to wear it probably for the pictures and maybe a couple other times, and yeah, it got destroyed. So that was sad, and I couldn't cast another one on right away because yeah, it was just it hurt too much at the time. So anyways, I think Jamie was wearing her simple hug a couple episodes ago, and I was like, you know, I think I'm ready for it now. So Jamie had done, I think, like 3 simple hugs, and I remember one of them that she used like a charcoal gray, and then she had some in Ginger Snaps Panda Party, which is like a white base with some black and hot pink, and then she had some hot pink in there. It was just beautiful. I just absolutely loved the black and the hot pink. And I always loved that one, and I thought, okay, I need to put something like that together. So this cardigan is being housed in my JoJo bag, which I love. And so I did cast it on. I got the ribbing all finished, and I am starting into the body now. So it's not too exciting because I'm just working with black at the moment. And the great thing about this pattern is DK held with mohair, or you don't have to use mohair, but it is knit on an 8mm needle. So it goes by super fast. And I just love the drape that it gives the fabric. It's just awesome. So here's what I have so far. And I do believe that I made a project page for the one I test knit last year. I don't remember the size that I made. So I hope I picked the right size. It's meant to be an oversized cardigan, so it's no big deal. But anyways, that's what I have so far. And what I chose to do for this first section, I am using Cascade 220 again in the black. And I am also, I don't know, I think it's just going to be for the sections that will have the black. The black is my main color. So this will also be my button band and my ribbing. But at least just for the black sections, I am holding mohair because I have it and I want to use it up. So there is my Cascade. I am terrible at showing you guys stuff today. So there's my Cascade. And I am just holding it with some black mohair. And this is the same mohair from my Charters cardigan. So it's the Pro Lana. And I don't think, oh, I actually do. It's the Pro Lana Kid Seta, 70% mohair, 30% silk, and they come in 25-gram balls, 210 yards per ball. And I actually picked this up at the Northern Pearl here in Timmins, Ontario. And yeah, it's really nice. So I picked together some colors, and I think this is what I'm going to use. So like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to hold mohair throughout. I do have some other mohair, like a lighter mohair that would probably look better with these lighter colors. I might hold that in with it. I don't know yet. But I got this one here. This is Polka Dot Creek. And this was one of her sock sets from last year, or not last year, last month. And oh, how beautiful is this? It is so pretty. And I don't think I put the tags. I see the tags sitting on my computer desk, but it came with 2 20-gram mini skeins as well. It's something violet, I want to say, but I don't know. I think she has it in stock right now on her Etsy, so do check it out. It did come with a light lilac mini skein and then a darker one. So I'm gonna hold that, a double, probably with mohair just to keep the fabric the same, I don't know. And then I have this one, and I already caked this one up separately. So I would have two 50-gram skeins. This one here I got from a D-stash. Ginger Snap, Kim of Ginger Snap had done a D-stash around August or something like that. And I had bought some from her. I'm just trying to see if I kept the tag in here. I've been so bad with that lately. I think it's over there too. Anyways, I do not know what the maker is, but it's just this beautiful gray with dark charcoal and pink in it, and it's a silver stellina on top of it. So I love that even more. So that's going to be in there. And then I really wanted to pull that hot pink out. So I picked up one from the Northern Pearl. It just wasn't, it was too neon pink for me. So I ended up getting this out of my stash. This is dyed gilpin. This is the dyed gilpin, which is Scottish lamb's wool, and it's in a hot pink. So this one here is a DK weight, so I will be holding that single strand with possibly mohair. I don't know yet. We will see where this takes us. So that is my 3 colors that I will be striping in there along with the black. So I'm super excited about it. So I will finally have my simple hug again, and it'll be awesome. I know it will. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So I got that one on the go. And did I bring anything else? No, that's all I brought. So that's for the most part what I have been working on of late. The Charters cardigan, like I said, took up a lot of my time, but it was so worth it just to put my mind on that project and just get it done. And now I got a beautiful cardigan out of it. So that's awesome. So, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of stash enhancement, just a little bit. I've already shared some of my acquisitions with you throughout the podcast, but I have a few more that I want to show. So, one of the things that I got, I've discovered that we had a knitting shop up here, and there had to be a knitting shop. So I was super excited to hear about that. So Ontario is back into their 3rd lockdown. Yes. So yeah, back into lockdown yet again. So there is no in-store shopping, but you can still do curbside. So I wanted to get some more black cascade for the simple hug. So I decided that she does have an online presence, like an online shop. So I was looking through her fingering weight yarn, and I discovered that she actually hand dyes her own yarn. So her name is Angela, and she does have a sorry, I'm losing my mind for a minute. She does have an Instagram, and you can find her as the Northern Pearl, but she hand dyes her own yarn. And when I saw that, I wanted to get some of her yarn and try it out. So I got this one, and this one is Ruse, and it is a 80/20 superwash merino and nylon 420 yards. And yeah, it is just so pretty. I love it. I love it. So I'm not 100% sure what this is going to be yet. I bought it with the intention of socks, perhaps, most likely. But I just wanted to support her, and I wanted to try out her yarns. So that was pretty exciting. I also bought another one of hers. I don't have it with me, but it is a gradient, and she has several gradients. And I bought one that it starts off like an olive green, and then it goes out to a brown, like a taupey brown, and then it goes out to like a mustard yellow. So beautiful. I casted that one on like almost right away. I had an idea for the a one skein shawl, and it was the hipster shawl by Joji Locatelli that I chose to do. And okay, it's a gorgeous pattern. I love it. I would love the finished object, but I did not enjoy the process of it. It's got these I guess they would be called like drop stitches. I just did not enjoy the process of the drop stitches. So, and I ended up messing up. I got to the second set of them, and I started doing like the garter, because there is garter sections in between, and I realized that I had messed it up somehow. There was like a stitch that was like hanging in, it shouldn't have been. So I just decided, okay, I have yet to rewind the yarn back up, but it's in the naughty pile right now, and it's going to be pulled out. So I will have to figure out another project, one skein shawl project or something for that yarn, because it's so beautiful. But that is one of Angela's yarns as well, from the Northern Pearl. So I did get that. And I brought along another Polka Dot Creek. Slight obsession with her sock sets, but this was for the month of April, I believe. Look how beautiful. Oh, it's just awesome. So this one is her April 2021 sock set. It is the Bee's Knees. That is that one, the main color. And then the 220 gram minis is Spicy Mustard, and Valentine is the pink. So I will turn that so you can read it. But how gorgeous is that? That is just so pretty. I love it. And as I said before, if you're not interested in buying the whole sock set, you can buy these individually. So you can just buy the main color, and then you can also, I believe, buy the mini skeins separately as well. So I got that. And then I'm just going to turn around here. I also made an order with Midnight Cravings. So I had went on to Midnight Cravings, and I was just checking out their yarn. I was trying to figure out my dilemma with the rose cardigan was ongoing still, with like figuring out a really nice fade. So I went on there, and I had found one of the colors, and I will talk about that at another time. But while I was on there, I saw that she had come out with a new colorway, and it was called the 7 Seas. And I'm sorry about the glare, I just don't want to take it out, but I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was so beautiful. And then I probably should have taken it out, but this was a sock set that she also had, and I believe it was a new colorway. So you got, I think that's a 50 gram skein with a 20 gram mini. So that was a sock set. So that is Midnight Cravings. So as soon as I saw this in person, I thought automatically of the Washed Out Shawl by Joji Locatelli. That's been on my watch list for a very long time. But again, I just never found the proper colors that I wanted to use for it. Last year, Jen Likes Yarn, she used to have a podcast. You can find her on Instagram. I just absolutely love her. I've known her for a long time and been watching and following her. She is an amazing knitter. She did the Washed Out Shawl last year, and she did it in that beautiful periwinkle color, and it was just so gorgeous. So when I saw this, I thought, I think that's going to be the main color. It's a fingering weight shawl. It's asymmetrical, and then it's got like this beautiful lacy border. So I still have to figure out what my first color will be. I definitely don't have enough of that, but I will have to find something in my stash to go with it. But I need 2 skeins of the main color, so I have this one, and then I ended up buying a full skein of it to go, so that should give me enough yardage. So this colorway is Everscent. Just gonna put this down. That way you guys can read it. You see that? Okay. So that's what I got. So I was thinking of pairing that with I was thinking of the bee's knees might be my end color for the lighter section of lace, because I definitely want it to be light. So I'm not sure yet, but that's a future washed out shawl, I believe. So I got that, and then I decided at the same time that I couldn't resist this color. I was looking at it, and I only bought 1 skein of it, but it is this gorgeous beauty right here, and it is not that light. That's a little bit more truer right there. So this one is called My 2 Cents, and this one and the other color are on the light sock base 85 superwash merino 15% nylon in 100 grams, 437 yards. So yeah, I could not resist this color because I just love it. It is so amazing. So I have no idea what this is going to be yet, but it will be something. I was watching the Cozy Up Girls, and Jamie kind of kick-started me into wanting to do a Vertices Unite by Stephen West. That one has been on my my map for a while now too, and yeah, I'm just not sure. So I saw hers. Jamie used like the Grizzly colorway. I can't remember the dyer that did it, but it's very much like this color. And then she used like a navy, and then she used this light speckle from Sassy Strings. So beautiful. I love it. So I don't have a navy blue in my stash, but yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't need to cast on another shawl right now, but it's just going to sit in my stash and look pretty for now. I just love it. But anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this has been a long one, like a super long one. If you guys are still here, you're awesome and amazing, because you've listened to me jabber on this long. But yeah, next one probably won't be this long. I want, now that back settled now, I want to start doing these things, not every week, but I want to really get back to that every other week. That way these podcasts aren't as long. But regardless, I'm so happy to be chatting with you guys again and sharing all my works in progress with you and everything I've done. Something I probably should have mentioned earlier while you guys were probably still watching this, I wanted to mention a couple new podcasts that I've been watching because they've been bringing me a lot of joy. I mentioned Tracy of Grizzly Knits earlier. She made the beautiful progress keepers and markers. She has a Grizzly Knits podcast on YouTube, so I do recommend that you go over and check her out. She has some beautiful stuff. And today I was searching for some podcasts to watch, and I came upon Amanda of Sweet Skein o' Mine. And I will link both of these podcasts below so you can go check them out too. Amanda is the dyer behind Sweet Skein o' Mine, and she is in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And I have started binge watching her. I've watched about 4 episodes now, and I am in love. I just really love all her stuff that she's been doing. And yeah, she is an amazing, amazing yarn dyer, and she is also an amazing knitter as well. So I have never knit from her yarn. I think I have possibly seen her yarn before, because Crooked Cove is our local yarn store. They have one in Moncton, Fredericton, and Blacks Harbor, Nova Scotia. So I've been, because the Moncton location was local to me, I've gone to that one, but me and Shelby also went to the Crooked Cove in Fredericton, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Amanda's yarn in person before, but just never bought it. So there's a couple of her colorways that really have me like, oh, I really like that. So anyways, I just wanted to mention those 2 ladies. Do go over and check out their podcast and give them some love and support because they totally deserve it. They are awesome. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I will let you go for now and stop rambling on. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and an amazing week ahead. Stay safe and stay positive. Bye.